Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and in this video I wanted to do a review of what I think really has to be just the best quality, full-featured, cheap piece of furniture that you can buy. In this case it's an end table. It's a Linsy home. I bought it from Walmart and it's just really well worth the money. I got it very cheap. I already spent quite a bit of money changing some furniture around, doing some rearranging. And I didn't want to spend much more, but I really needed an end table. I really wanted a specific dimension, and this was that and then so much more. I really wanted to just go from Walmart so that way I could go and get it cheap, and if I don't like it, return it. And on their website, I couldn't really find what I wanted, but this was on there. It was not local. I don't think you can buy them in store. So I did have to get it online, but it wasn't that much money. Around the holidays, I got it on sale, so I paid just a little over $100 shipped. Quite a bit of assembly, so I think that's why it's so cheap, is because you're doing a lot of the labor on getting it together. But you can see it just fits in there perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and get some of the clutter off of it and show it a little more in depth. Okay, so here's some of the stuff taken out of it. It's out of the way. You can see working with the tight space here. That's why I got this. It's the exact dimensions I want. It's a little heavy. It's been a while since I assembled it and put it in place. So for being, I assume it's like that MFT or whatever particle board, they made it look good. It's pretty solid once it's put together. It does seem flimsy until you get it all together. Then it's pretty good. So again, you can always check the website and the listings. We're about 23 3/4 length or depth, depends on how you view it. About 13 3/4 in width, and then the height. Let's see. We're right at 23 inches. So it was pretty much what I needed. It's a little low, but again, I'm stacking some stuff, which you probably saw. You can add a little shelf, you can add a little table, or desk organizer, whatever you want to call it, file organizer or something, to give it a little more height. But I like just the way it looks. I like the two-tone, the glass door, the pull-out drawer here. I did a few minor little mods and things just to make it more my own and serve my needs. But I will talk about that in a minute here. Mine was packaged pretty well. Again, you can see it comes with a glass door. Mine was fine, not broken or anything. Now I actually think maybe one of these bottom pieces is really not a foot. It's basically just the base. It comes to a kind of a foot, but it's all one piece. There was a couple that were torn a little bit, and one of these inner shelves, I think there was a corner that was a little bent, and that fake paper peeled up and it crumbled a little bit. But where it's at, you can't see it. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, it's better if no issues at all, but for what it is, it's not bad. The most painstaking part of this is, in fact, the assembly, which maybe I can go page by page real quick in a minute here, in case someone, either if you haven't bought it and you're thinking about buying it, this might better help you understand how it works, what all it comes with, everything. There's also a YouTube video that they made that is animated 3D, really helpful. I used both of these together. Took a while. I took some breaks. I think I had probably about 2 hours, and then probably the last hour was trying to find how I wanted it set up when I got it together. But it's painstaking, but these instructions, pretty much a nice little book here, and the video, I was able to get it together, and it's well worth it once it is together. So you have the pull-out drawer, cup holders, a little tray, probably fit a couple little remotes in there. You have your door. This is the glass door. Shelf, you can adjust 3 positions. And then this one unique feature, you have a little bit of storage here. You have a power strip here, and so you can do charging, put your chargers, your cables, and stow them away, run them up here if you want, or keep them down here. I'm not using that. but I like that it's included. And then you have some space on the back here, a little cutout that acts as a shelf too. And you have, again, this shelf in the back, which for me isn't that useful because I have it pretty close up against a wall. So like I have an extra candle, I probably put a few back here. Stuff that I don't need to get to very often would be where you'd want to put this. I'm not sure if I'd rather have more room this way, that this would all be included, or this part. It depends where your setup is and how you want to do it, but I mean, it's fine. And you can see here's the power strip where it attaches, so that is all hidden in the back here. And now one thing you might be able to barely notice is you can see there's like a imperfection there. I'm not sure if it's adhesive or what, but you can see how this veneer is glued on. You can see kind of it's not perfectly even. It's just not completely perfect. Like there's a little chip or something in it that was like that when I got it. But for the price, I'm fine with it. It still looks great from a distance. It's just not like super high quality, solid, just precious materials. But for what it is, it's fine for me. And the front view, again, everything you put the handles on, you put the hinges on. Again, I think that's why it's like I paid 110. I think it's like 120 to 150 depending on where you buy it and if it's on sale. So it's up to you to get it right. You had to put that on, and then these, they're oblong so you can get it all to line up. Which mine's not 100% perfect, as you can see, but it's certainly fine. And you can just see, for now, just put some candles, some scents, some stuff to clean my devices with. I like these Dollar Tree containers. Again, you're trying to do things cheap without going crazy. This is an excellent just thing, especially if you don't know what you want to do. You're out $1.25 if you don't like it or something, and then you kind of know what dimensions and how you want to play around with that. Again, actually you can see that cord for that power strip back there, but I'm not sure if I would rather have more depth, because then, I mean, you're really reaching in there if you go further. So it's probably better the way it is with the open shelf on the back. This is a modification I made. I'll talk about that more here in a second. And then you get this storage compartment down here. So it offers a lot, especially when you compare. You go to Walmart in store, nothing. There's one that's similar to this. It's like a nightstand, but it doesn't do as much as this does. And online, I mean, you're not going to get something this nice, this cheap. So that's why I keep coming back to it. It's just exactly what I wanted. And if you've stuck around, I really appreciate it, because now we've entered the story time portion of the video. I guess there's another table that's probably the one that's, one's probably the glass door, one's probably the wooden door. I'm not going to talk about every single one of these. I'm just showing it. There are times when the listing doesn't tell you enough, but if someone shows the directions, it kind of, you know exactly how you're going to have to build it. You know what all it's made of, how it works. Like you have to put the sliding rails for the drawer on. That's one of the hardest parts, because you got to take them apart, assemble them onto the drawer and onto the inside, and you get the orientation correct. Again, you can check the actual Linsy Home YouTube channel, shows how to put this together. It's really well made, so that in conjunction with this, I was able to get it together pretty much without any mistakes. A lot of little pieces and parts. And then again, you have to really get the hinges. That's why they give you a little bit of play in them, so you can make sure everything lines up, because you're adjusting that little magnet backstop and all that. So all that has to have a little wiggle room, unless you're perfect and you're eyeballing it. And that's how it'll go together. Gives you a little heads up now. That might be the deciding factor for someone. And another one of the unique things, which I've seen a few others on Amazon have this, but not too many. This piece is fixed. It's bolted onto it. It's basically a hard tabletop. I'm not putting my full body weight on it, but yeah, it's pretty sturdy. This is sturdy too, but this is one of your neat functions. You have extra storage here. You can't get too much in it, but you can get a lot of little stuff. Chargers, cables. I have a spot for most of those, but I could always use a little more because I'm sure I'll fill it up someday. And you get this power strip with a shut off, and you get two USB-A type ports. I'm sure the manual said if they were like 5 volts, 2 amps or slower, hopefully they're at least that. And then you get 3 standard AC electrical plugs, and then that power strip cable, you plug it into your wall or wherever. I'm not using it. I have mine cable managed and tied up at the bottom to keep it out of the way and clean. I have my own little power strip surge protector charging station literally right next to the door, right above it. So for me, I don't need this. If you don't put it in, there's a hole here, so I put it together to complete the bottom of it. But for me, I just really don't need to use it. I certainly don't mind that it's there. That's great thinking. And I've seen these on a lot of these cheaper Chinese products, TV stands, all kind of furniture, nightstands. And I'm sure they work, but for me, since I already have something that's safer, a little more expensive, and has been proven to not fail, I'm a little leery of using this if I don't need to. I'm sure as many as there are, there doesn't seem to be any bad reviews like, oh, it caught on fire or anything. But for my peace of mind and the fact that I'm good with my other setup, I'm not using it. So, but it's good that it's there, and it's something I'm sure a lot of people do use. And then one of my mods that I did, that one of the reviews I saw, which made sense, really just didn't think of it, but made complete sense, is these are all online. So you're just getting this, and the inside of this is just exposed. There's not even a veneer on it. I mean, obviously I didn't cover that. You could probably paint it, but I don't think it's worth doing. But these cheap veneers, you set a wet cup on that, maybe the first few times, but it'll eventually bubble up. So these are kind of a weirder size. Like, I looked at Dollar Tree and other places for coasters. I couldn't find any of this size, so I went to Dollar Tree and I just got one of these placemats, these real cheap ones. But this isn't really that absorbent or nice, so I put that in here, and then I put this, which is another kind of like placemat. This one is like it's like fibers. You can see my fingers through it. So this wouldn't hold the water, it would leak through. So that's why I decided I would use both together. I tried to cut them as good as I could, and that's what I did with all of these. I'm sure a phone would fit in here. Slim little Apple remote fits in here. Then this thicker TV remote just barely clears, but it doesn't touch. So you can get probably most remotes in here. You could probably get a phone in there or some things. And then the other mod I did was you basically have to either two-hand this, or what I was doing was grabbing it here. And it does work, but I was thinking like a pop socket or something through the back of a phone. And you would glue it here, and then you could flatten it when you're done and pull it up. But I was thinking, first off, a pop socket is probably at least $10 or $20 for a metal one. And I got these little hooks for like 99 cents in a pack of like 10 or 20. And then one of these little carabiners. And it actually, since it's hard, I wasn't able to bend it on. I had to like break this piece off and thread it through, but that's beside the point. It won't spring clip anymore, but that doesn't matter. So I can easily, while I'm seated, just hook it, pull it out, And then since it kind of is on this pivot, I don't have to, like, you know, get it. You can't pull it. You can't bring it up straight. It just kind of does it all in one. So it was a really nice thing that just how it worked out. It kind of automatically tilts itself up. You can see how this piece is put together. And then that leaves, you could use it without this, obviously. But you can just put, then you could probably get a little more height here if you needed it. But for me, that's pretty nice. And again, this, I'm not putting much weight on it, but you know, you could definitely set a couple of big gulps or something, and I don't think you're going anywhere. So that's how I did that. I'm really happy with how that came out. So again, as I showed at the beginning of the video, my iPad Pro, my MacBook, I could just set things here. I could take these out and put something else here, but I can still just set things here if I needed to charge something above where my power strip's at. But the other main thing I did, which for me I needed to do, was this like monitor riser. This one was pretty cheap. I got it in a 2-pack. You can get it on Amazon or Walmart, because you need something with these exact dimensions. I was looking for filing organizers, those paper trays, stuff like that, because I have, like, you know, so if I get some magazines or some mail, I mean, I have other spots for most of my documents and everything, but just kind of temporary storage. Again, I don't want to have to lift this up every time, and I don't think I could fit bigger items. So I can it'll fit a magazine, it'll fit mail, or again, something I'm just gonna grab and look at. But then I have an additional plane for storage, and for me, I bought this two headphone holder, headphone stand, and you know, the AirPods Max are pretty heavy, and then this headset. And then that way, instead of stacking something here, and what I was doing was having to wedge these here and taking up more space, it gives me a little more room to organize. So that's for me. But if you're thinking maybe you want an additional plane of storage, you can get one of these really cheap, and that kind of gives you that. And these are really sturdy for the money, like $8-10 for one, 15 or so for two. I would consider adding something like that as well. And again, this is just my solution to get my headsets up here as well. And you can kind of see again what I meant with what I wanted to do. Those paper trays are flimsy, just like a couple dollars. I know they wouldn't hold like the weight of this metal stand. They wouldn't hold these. And then the wooden ones and some file, I don't know what they're called, just like different organizers I looked at Walmart. They're all way wider or too tall or something. So this was perfect. That's what I'm doing here. So again, this is the way I like to use it. Pretty much of all the stuff back, at least for now. I mean, it works really nice up against a recliner or wherever it is, and obviously as an end table. You probably could use it as a nightstand too, but I'm really happy with how it came out. And again, you can see how I have my charging stuff right above it, so I don't need to use that. And one other thing is you got this bag of spare parts, so if something would break, but I mean, really it's just if you lose something in the process or somehow something didn't get accounted for. But I'm really happy with that. For $110, $20, $30, whatever it may be. It came out, it serves a purpose for me. It fits just how I wanted. So I hope I covered everything with this. I really tried to show as much as I could, from the assembly to the features and how I'm using it, some ideas. Really happy with it. Great price. And hopefully that answered any questions you had. I had no problem spending this much money to find out for you. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.